We're back with Christine Camp Friedman, Managing Director of Avalon Development Company, one of Hawaii's top real estate companies.
Equity partners, you're talking about your own projects.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take in equity partners for your own projects, or when you say your own projects, does that mean just purely your own capital for your 100% your development?
I think for real estate development, and it may be the case with lots of other companies, it's about utilizing other people's money and growing it and limiting your own money because you're putting your own effort, your sweat equity into it. So what I do when I say my own projects, these are my ideas, my opportunities that I bring to others and having them finance it, and they become equity partners. Every one of my projects, it's been financed by others with my participating in maybe 10 to 15%. I mean, those are not, it might seem small, but they're pretty significant when you're talking about $15 million to $30 million projects. So it is pretty significant when we're talking about equities. But at the same time, I'm able to spread it out to many different opportunities. And that to me is the key to success, is leveraging your knowledge and expertise and your desire and work ethic as an entrepreneur and going to others who have the deep pockets to really leverage their financial resources to your project. So I see it as a win-win situation.
As a woman in a almost like a, I don't know if I want to say a man's dominated
male-dominated,
world,
absolutely
because
is.
real estate's all seems like men. Have you ever felt discriminated against, or maybe opportunities didn't come up as much because you're a woman? I mean, has that come up at all?
You know, I cannot say it hasn't. It did. And I can recognize it when I see it. But there are people who choose to call it what it is, and there are people who choose to just kind of let it roll, you know, and just make the best of it. And I was in the camp of being there and making the best of it. I didn't want to have a victim mentality. I just wanted to show what my efforts were about. That meant working a little harder. That meant, you know, speaking a little louder. That meant being a little more prepared than everyone else. But I had to work hard to get the respect. In a male-dominated industry, construction, real estate development, it definitely is a male-dominated industry. But at the same time, the women who do put themselves out there, they're highly respected.
So can you kind of go on the other side and say being a woman in a male-dominated industry has certain advantages? What would you say the advantages would be?
Well, because it is male-dominated, the few women who do make it or who put themselves out there, they're remembered. And I think being remembered for their skills, I mean, of course, you know, the expectation is not as great. They think that women may not have had the experience. So by being able to come in and be the best out there, or know that, you know, that I have greater knowledge than some other guy that may be out there, I think what it does, it helps in the marketing. People remember you and people recognize you for your skills. It may be exactly the same as some other person because you're a woman. You have, they have a greater respect for that. It's not so much that now. I mean, this is 2006, and I can't say that I see that as much. I used to see that 10 years ago. And, you know, I've been in this industry 20 years. 20 years ago, definitely. 10 years ago, yes. In some instances. Now, I hardly see it.
So do you see a lot more women when you go to your business meetings? And do the women kind of come together to be a lot stronger force than the men? You know, because there's a lot more women and top business women that are smarter, have great ideas, and can lead groups. Like you were the leader of the Chamber of Commerce. Mm-hmm. Just wondering if the women come together and have that force together to try and, you know, equal it out.
I like the idea of women's networking so that other women could pool, you know, provide opportunities and a base for networking that would allow other women to be helped by it. But at the same time, I always feel that we don't need special organizations. We just need to be within the organization and just kind of be there and be involved. Because if you are a leader, it doesn't matter whether you're a woman or, you know, you're a certain race or, you know, a certain age or a certain financial means, you still can't compete with the rest of them. So I always look at it as everyone is equal, and it's a matter of effort to be recognized and become a leader. And that may be an old-fashioned thinking, but I've always believed it, and I've always acted upon that.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more on Greater Good Radio.